For a report this week, I do want to elevate something that is really top of mind for our team, and I know that also for the membership. And as we think about our guiding documents in our office, I do want to highlight that in our office, we do have set supports in place to ensure that we're offering a safe and welcoming environment. And so I do want to just acknowledge to the membership that, and especially to the public, that we do have our code of conduct for members as it relates to how we interact and communicate with one another. During the public comment or during the chat, there are statements that are oftentimes made directed toward our personnel. There's also statements that are made toward parents directly. And I want to acknowledge that our engagement within our office and in our committee work is to ensure participating can speak to the issues and the topics that we're discussing as a team. And I say that as a team because both our membership as well as our personnel, we are part of the team. And during public comment, we will see in the chat, use of the chat by public, or even if it's used by membership, we want you to just remind you of our rules of decorum for the public. And what are those rules of decorum? That means that we should come in an environment to uplift one another, specifically not using slanderous statements, targeted attacks, or coming in and speaking about individuals. And as I share, this goes for our members, for people in the public that are coming in as guests, and also our personnel. And public, it's really important that in those, if you look at those rules of decorum, those are the exact same norms that we use in the Board of Education. And so our rules of decorum highlight that each person who addresses a committees shall not make personal, impertinent, slanderous, or profane remarks to any committee member, staff, or public. So that is language that whenever anyone signs up for public comment, whenever a member is interacting or engaging, those are important tenets to offering our community a safe and welcoming environment. For the public, I do want to reiterate that if our office sees any ongoing use of language targeting an individual or really going after an individual with the intent of trying to directly debate with them in a way that really is trying to go against the person and not the topic, we will be responding by pausing microphones in the public comments. And as I see some heads nodding, I appreciate that sense of importance on this matter because you all are parents, you're members of our community, and the public should engage to talk about topics and not about personnel and make defamatory statements against individuals. That is an item where we understand that public comment, it's the right of the public to speak up, but our rules of decorum, we invite you all to please review them because they apply to ensuring that everyone's humanity is respected and lifted. For individuals, as for your awareness, that do essentially participate in disrespectful type of conduct or statements, we do investigate. And the follow-up might be that in the future, your microphone is cut if you engage in such behavior. And if you have, we may explore options of inviting persons that have a reputation for coming in public comment to target individuals to provide their public comment in other means outside of speaking on a microphone. We want to respect the voice of individuals, but I think putting a stop to the usage of this space to address and target individuals, that is something that within our office that we feel is really important. It's aligned to our policy and also our district's harassment policy. For the membership, we also have a code of conduct. The code of conduct is our guidance of how we go about following up and ensuring that the same level of respect, same level of support for personnel, for our members and the public, that we are not being divisive, but actually being able to help the work of what's on the agenda. When we meet under an agenda, you will notice that we follow very structured procedures and steps to complete the agenda. And the engagement that we facilitate is to be focused on the agendized topics. So I want to highlight this because our office, in the Office of Student, Family, and Community Engagement, there are oftentimes statements that are said about our office, and I will tell you that our team collectively are individuals with strong values. Their heart is connected into the work. You will notice that this is all hands on deck, whether it's our directors, our senior facilitators, we each lift the work of our committees. And we understand that oftentimes there might be disagreements, but again, we ask officers, members, and the public to ensure that we are all treated with dignity, with respect, and with a safe environment to be able to engage, serve, and learn. So this is the first element that I wanted to include in here for us, along with our guidelines for safe and welcoming environment. Because as we investigate, we want to make sure that as we're doing our investigations, there are procedures where it can lead to suspending members, and it also affords us the opportunity to ensure that the public is speaking respectfully. This is an item that at the beginning of the year we went into greater detail with, but just given some of the circumstances of the last few meetings and the tone of the last few meetings, we did want to elevate this as something that's important. And if you have any concerns, you're always welcome to email members of our team, our administrators especially. Ms. Diane Panosian and I are here to serve and support you.